Welcome back. This is Ritto here with another Terraria Calamity endgame weapon showcase. Today we're going to be looking at the Phaseslayer, and this is part of the Draedon's arsenal. This is an Auric Tesla tier melee weapon from the 1.4.5 Rust and Dust update, and here's what it looks like. It is so cool. The Phaseslayer is like this giant beam sword, and when you spin it really quick, it shoots out these projectiles, but you can see if I'm not moving it, there's no projectiles. So it does have kind of an interesting thing to where, you know, the more you move your cursor, the more damage you can do. In this video, we're going to take a look at what this Phaseslayer can do, and we're going to test it on some bosses and target dummies, as well as go over the crafting recipe. The first thing I want to do is take a look at the tooltip. We've got it rolled to Godly, and it's showing 35,307 melee damage and 42,368 true melee damage. 101% critical strike chance, fast speed, insane knockback, and it says it's a rough prototype of the Murasama blade. It is formed entirely from laser energy. Wield a colossal laser blade, which is controlled by your cursor. Fast swings deal more damage and release sword beams. While at low charge, the blade is smaller and weaker, deals less damage against enemies with high defense. And you can see at the very bottom, we've got this one charged to 100%, and that's going to be the max damage we can get out of it. And then here's one that's at 0%, and if I try to use this, you see I can't actually use it. It will not let me use the beam sword at all. So that's definitely something to note about this, is you're going to need to be able to charge it. And to charge it, you'll need a fuel factory, a charging station, and power cells. So to get power cells, you'll just put down your fuel factory, and that will slowly give you power cells, just like that. And then to charge it, you'll just put down your charging station, right-click on your charging station, and put your sword in there, and then you can put some power cells and it will begin charging the sword. And these stations can be obtained in labs across the world. I've got a showcase for all the different labs available in 1.4.5, so you can check that out if you need help finding those. Now it's time to test this out on a target dummy. Let's try just doing a normal attack without moving, and you'll see we're doing about 370, 360, 340. You can see if we move our cursor really quickly, we can do a lot more damage. Like we're up to 730 there, and we kill the target dummy. So you can definitely pile on a lot more damage if you kind of go crazy and move your sword a bunch. One thing you can do is increase your mouse sensitivity, and that way you can move your cursor much faster and do more damage. Now let's try this on an improved dummy, and just doing a normal attack without moving, we're up to like 320. And then if we move our cursor extremely quickly, you can see we got over 1,000,000 right there. So this is definitely quite the unique weapon. It is pretty fun to use, and I do want to try it out on some bosses. I know we kill Providence a lot, but I have a feeling this will be a really fun one to use on Providence. And so, yeah, like instantly kills Providence. That was very satisfying. And I bet we could do really good work on pretty much every boss in the game. Yharon might be a little bit tricky with this because of the close range, but for bosses that require long range, you can just kind of spin your cursor around your character and you'll shoot these projectiles out, and you'll still be able to do a decent amount of damage just from shooting these little energy beams. In fact, let's test out how much damage we can do with just energy beams. So we're shooting about as many as we can, and we're up to 180, 190, 200,000 just from these energy beams. So that's pretty powerful. Now let's take a look at the recipe for the Phaseslayer. It just requires the Draedon's Forge, 15 Mysterious Circuitry, 25 Dubious Plating, and 4 Auric Tesla Bars. So this is a really simple recipe, just like the other items in the Draedon's arsenal, which make it very accessible for someone who hasn't farmed up a lot of the items that you need to craft something like the Exoblade or the Arc of the Cosmos or the Exogladys. And you can easily find Mysterious Circuitry and Dubious Plating all over the world in the chests in the labs. You can also extract them from the power cells using an extractinator. Now let's go ahead and try this out and see how it does on Supreme Calamitas. Wow, I'm kind of all over the place on this start. Okay, so, oh my goodness, that kills those so quickly. Yeah, that's amazing for that part. And now for this part, the best we can do is kind of try to get projectiles to hit her, which it's honestly not doing that bad. If we're moving our cursor fast enough, we can do a decent amount, although I'm missing my dodges because I'm too focused on shooting Supreme Calamitas. I definitely wouldn't go with the Phaseslayer as my main weapon for this part of the fight, but for the first part where you're killing orbs and the last time they spawn orbs, it's just going to be an incredible weapon. And that concludes our showcase of this awesome Phaseslayer sword. It's an Auric Tesla tier weapon, so you'll need to have defeated Yharon Phase 2, and you'll be able to use this on the Supreme Calamitas fight, which we just saw. You can actually do so good on the orbs at the start, you know, just kind of fly in a diagonal line, moving your cursor a bunch, and you'll have those defeated almost instantly. And then probably best to switch over to something like the Arc of the Cosmos, Exoblade, or Exogladys, or some other weapon, because this isn't necessarily the best for the main part of the boss fight. Although, if you could move fast enough and not get distracted by moving your cursor all over, you could actually do pretty good damage still. This is definitely such a unique sword, and I really like how the Calamity developers have been finding new and innovative ways to make weapons in Terraria. It adds that much more variety to Terraria combat, and I think that's a really good thing. And that's it for the Phaseslayer sword. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. I also post lots of other Terraria content like showcase videos, and I'm doing a Death Mode Calamity playthrough as a rogue class, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.